everyone, my name's Gene. I'm a graphic designer. I'm also an illustrator. I've been working in the field for about the last 15 years. And today, I'm going to show you a great thing that you can do to help the environment, to recycle it a little bit. We're going to talk about more paper crafts. I'm going to show you what you can do with waste paper. All right, so I have here a bunch of stuff that you'll probably find in your mail at some point. If you have a mailbox, they're going to try and fill it with all this kind of garbage and stuff that you're probably never ever going to use. Let me see here. Try and find one that's a 4-fold. This is kind of like a 2.5 fold. And this way you can, well, you know what? I'm going to fold one inside the other one instead of looking all over creation for a 4-fold. So I'm just going to set this inside this, move this flap over, and do this. And the reason we're doing it this way is because I want sort of the extra sturdiness that doubling up the paper is going to give us, because like I said, these are not real sturdy, they're not made to be. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold lengthwise into thirds. 1/3, and you might want to measure, use a ruler. I'm just kind of winging it here. Fold into thirds, and then with it folded into thirds, make sure you get a good solid crease. Then what you want to do is do the same thing lengthwise, except I'm going to fold it basically, I don't even know what this is. Fold it about 1/3 of the way in. You want to essentially make the same distance between this third from here to here with the end of the paper from here to here, more or less. Okay, now what I'm going to do, now that I've got that taken care of, that's just basically setting up the distance where I'm going to want everything. So I'm going to fold this in again, an entire third. And I'm going to fold this one in a little bit more than 1/3. There we go. So now, it's probably going to be pretty difficult to see. I'll try and outline some of these areas. What we have is we have a square here. Okay. And then we have 2 folds going out this way, 2 coming in this way. We have some this way, and we have some this way. So now what you want to do is take the fold where I did a 1/3 here and just draw a straight line diagonally from one corner to the other. And we're going to do the same thing over here where we have this in the same basic spot. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to cut this here roughly the same area. And I'm going to grab my cutting surface. And this will be real easy to cut because it's such flimsy, flimsy paper. In fact, you can see, well, maybe that was off camera, but it's actually sticking to my flesh. So this is flesh-eating paper that they use. This actually works for any kind of paper, not just waste paper. Just be careful when you're cutting this paper because it is really thin. It'll be real easy to slip up here. And also make sure that you're always using something to cut against so that you're not cutting up the table that you're working on. Always make sure that you have the cutting surface nearby. And anyway, so we'll finish up cutting these edges here. Fold these sides in. And of course, you're going to notice that you have this little extra area here, and when you fold it, it's actually going to fold right in for you. So you can either put that on the inside or put it on the outside when you fold it in. If you want, you can give yourself a little pre-fold by folding it actually diagonally. And these 2 sides will line up. And just put a crease on this part of it. Don't crease all the way through because then the bottom of what we're doing here is going to have a crease. So pull this up. And then pull this side up. And you'll see that now we're left over with a little triangular area. We can either, like I said, push that in or put it around the side here. I'm going to opt to put it around the side, and I'm going to use that to tape it in place. So we're going to grab our trusty duct tape here. Bam, taped. And now we have one side. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to fold this side up, and we're left with our triangle. So we're going to fold that over, tape the other side, and just imagine here that, you know, maybe you're wrapping a present for Christmas, except it's not Christmas necessarily, and you probably don't want to give this particular empty box to anyone for Christmas as a present unless they were really naughty. Even Santa Claus would frown on it, because he even springs for a lump of coal. And in today's economy, a lump of coal is pretty expensive. So then we're going to do our last side. And we've already done the folds here, so they're going to crease real easily. And we see our triangle on the bottom here. Fold that back over to the same side that our other triangle was on. Use another piece of duct tape. Bam. And then this is our last side. Got a little tangled there, but it's okay. Another piece, there's our triangle. I'm going to fold that nice and creasy there. Not to be confused with Creasy Bear from the movie Man on Fire, which was amazing, by the late, great Tony Scott. All right, so then we're going to fold the tiny little top in here to provide a little extra structure. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Bam. And then fold the longer areas in. And now we have just made a little waste paper basket out of waste paper. And you can try your little waste paper basket out by taking all the waste paper that you just cut up, and you could just throw it in your waste paper basket made out of waste paper. And then when you're done and you need to take it to the garbage, you can just take the whole thing and throw the whole thing away.
So there you have it, guys. Do your part for the environment. Make cool crafts out of waste paper. Now, you probably don't want to use the waste paper that's like been in there and there's coffee grounds on it, and you put like scraps of chicken and like, you know, scraped off some dinner on it. You probably want to use the waste paper before it gets to the waste bin, because otherwise it could be a little more messy, and you really don't want to do that. So I hope you learned a little bit, and I hope you had some fun. Let's see you next time.